Hi, it's Teemu. Welcome to Norwich City Central.
Hello everybody, Lewis, Norwich City Central. I hope you're all doing well. Norwich City are top of the league, and if you are new to Norwich City Central, please do subscribe for consistent match content, match reviews, match previews, and a whole lot of Norwich City content. The game really was a tale of two penalties. Middlesbrough 0, Norwich City 1, and coming up against a Neil Warnock side, you know they're going to be defensive, you know they're going to be tough to beat, and it was a terrific win for Norwich City. Really was a tale of two penalties this game. Middlesbrough missing a penalty, and it's the most bizarre penalty miss I've ever seen. And what is it with oppositions taking penalties? Clearly Tim Krul's got something on them, but yeah, bizarre penalty miss, and Norwich City at the other end. The second in the 72nd minute comes to Teemu Pukki on the penalty spot, and it was a really good penalty, and that sends Norwich City top. And what's bizarre is Norwich City haven't particularly played well in the Championship this season, and yet we're still top of the league, which is a credit to this Norwich City side. Look, we've shown a lot of character, at times we've shown skill, but we've also shown quite a few strokes of luck as well, particularly today as well, in a way with that Middlesbrough miss. But I said at the start of the season, this Championship is one of the weakest in quite a few years. Obviously, Leeds going up now. And yeah, it's a very weak Championship season, and Norwich City are top. And the good news is you feel like Norwich City have got plenty more gears to go up. We're top without even playing at our best. But yeah, lots of positives to take. A third clean sheet in the row as well, with Grant Hanley being absolutely immense. So plenty of positives, and I'd love to hear your thoughts down below as Teemu Pukki fires Norwich City to the top of the Championship table. Love to hear your thoughts down below. But yeah, looking at the game, obviously we've had some bad injury news in the press conferences. Mumba, who made a real impact in our last game, and Adam Ida out for 10 weeks, so out to about February, which is really disappointing as they're youngsters who, you know, have got a lot of potential to go on and really further their careers. But yeah, a really interesting game, this one. As I said earlier in the video, Neil Warnock, you know what kind of manager he is. He's defensive, he's boring, and it's really tough to break teams down. I think Middlesbrough won a 8-game unbeaten run with plenty of draws in that run, plenty of 0-0 draws in that run. So it was always going to be tough to break down. And Norwich City, it was quite an uneventful first half, to be honest. Buendia went close early on in the game. But it was just Norwich City having to deal with the physical threat. We didn't do that in the Premier League. In the 18-19 season, we did that quite well. And it's a testament. Norwich City haven't actually conceded a corner yet. And although sometimes our set pieces are a lot to be desired, we've actually really improved this season, particularly in this Middlesbrough game. Middlesbrough are a very physical side, and Grant Hanley and Ben Gibson did really well. And Ben Gibson's been great since coming in. So it was a pretty uneventful first half. It was 0-0. But it was a very eventful second half with some bizarre happenings, which I was shocked by, to be honest. But yeah, early on in the second half, Ben Gibson makes an error. Ben Gibson, I think, has been at Middlesbrough for something silly like 10, 17 years. He played in the youth system at Middlesbrough, and you know, he's been really successful there. But he concedes a penalty, and it's Tim Krul again. So in terms of opposition's penalties so far this season, Tim Krul saved the penalty against Rotherham, and we go on to win the game 2-1. In the Bristol game as well, they had a late penalty, but Necky Wells hit it over the bar. And it's a great chance for Middlesbrough to go 1-0 in front. And once a Neil Warnock team goes 1-0 in front, they're very hard to kind of get back in. So it's Taverner versus Tim Krul. Taverner scores, but the goal is ruled out. An absolutely bizarre happening. I've never seen it before in football. I'd love to hear your thoughts down below. Have you ever seen this kind of penalty ruled out before? What happens? James Taverner comes up to the penalty spot. He hits it, but as he hits it, he slips, and he hits it off his standing foot, and so the goal has to be ruled out for a double touch. Absolutely insanity. I thought it might have been a retake, but nope, that's it, because it was a double touch. The penalty's ruled out. As I said, he comes up to hit the penalty, and as he does, he slips. The ball goes off his standing left foot and goes into the back of the net, but the goal was ruled out. So a huge stroke of luck for Norwich City, and we found that this season, haven't we? You know, there's been times this season when Norwich have had strokes of luck in game, and this was another one. But from that point onwards, Norwich City played some really good stuff, moved the ball around a lot better. Jordan Hugill started the game and didn't really have any kind of impact. Be very interesting to see what happens with Jordan Hugill, because his just style of football doesn't really fit ours. But Teemu Pukki comes on, makes a difference. We start to create more chances. Poeta's a really interesting one. He put in some lovely crosses, and although he hasn't really kicked on since his goal against Preston, there's a real player in there. You know, he did really well on his international call-up for Poland. You know, playing with the likes of Robert Lewandowski, some of the best players in the world. He was absolutely terrific for the Poland senior team, and he looks like a real player. And I'm sure there's plenty more to come from him. But the penalty eventually comes in the 72nd minute. Max Aarons gets taken down in the box, and Teemu Pukki steps up against Randolph, I think, in goal. And it's a really nice penalty, rolls it past the goalkeeper. And Norwich City go 1-0 up. Very interesting now that the EFL have got a new rule, and now teams can have 5 substitutions. It's always weird when you have a new rule kind of come in mid-season, but teams can have now 5 substitutions in the Championship. Norwich City has always kind of waited until the last minutes to put them on. But yeah, in kind of the last 20 minutes, Norwich City were quite comfortable. We had lots of crosses to deal with. Grant Hanley, for me, was my man of the match. He was absolutely immense in terms of getting the headers away, really leading the line. And that's something which I've been really pleased with Norwich City. Defensively, we've improved massively. 3 clean sheets in a row. And yeah, on the whole, we look so much better defensively. Ben Gibson's obviously come in and had a real good impact, and Sorensen as well at left back's done really well. So a lot to really be happy about in regards to this win, and a fantastic stat I heard as well in terms of when we beat Middlesbrough in the playoff final in 2015 by 2 goals to 0. That was a great day. Since then, we've had 5 encounters against Middlesbrough, and we've beat them all 5 times by one goal to 0. I think. I'm trying to think of all those games now. I remember we won 1-0 with James Maddison, 1-0 with a Tom Tribal goal, 1-0 with a Teemu Pukki goal, 1-0 with an Ono Hernandez goal, and then today another 1-0 win with Teemu Pukki. So yeah, a lot of real positives. Tim Krul, did he get into the mind of the penalty taker? I'm sure in terms of the Norwich City narrative, we love to say that. We love to say Tim Krul got into his head. And Tim Krul's a very interesting, he's a penalty specialist. Neutral fans say he's one of the best penalty takers, one of the best goalkeepers for penalties. Just because he's a bit of a shithouse, isn't he? He loves to get into the head of a penalty taker. He normally gets a yellow card just for the amount of talking he does. But yeah, it worked for whatever he did. And yeah, lots of real positives. Grant Hanley at the back was immense. Oliver Skipp as well in the midfield did really well, really combative, and Tottenham fans have got a fantastic player there. Lucas Rupp did well as well. Stupidman, not his best game, scored the winner against Swansea. Didn't really kick on. Emi Buendia showed in glimpses what he's all about. And Emi Buendia, I said in my match preview, he kind of sums up where Norwich City are at the moment. He shows glimpses of quality, but he's not at their best. And I feel like Norwich City are like that at the moment. But we're top of the league. We deserve to be top of the league. We've had some strokes of luck, yes, but we deserve it. And Poeta as well looks a real talent. So I'd love to hear your thoughts down below. Norwich City, top of the league. We play Stoke on Tuesday night. And yeah, yes, we've had strokes of luck, but we've shown character. There's no coincidence we've scored so many late goals. It's because we show character and we show glimpses of quality. We've got brilliant players like Pukki, Buendia, Aarons, who all deserve to be in the Premier League, and we're showing those glimpses of quality. I'd love to hear your thoughts down below, but this game really was a tale of 2 penalties, a bizarre penalty miss, but Teemu Pukki sends Norwich top of the penalty, not top of the Championship with his penalty. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to Norwich City Central, and I'll see you later.